Hi, I'd like to give you an overview of chapters 9 and 10 since there are multiple assignments related to group projects that's going to be due the next few weeks. We have a lot of different check-ins, I like to call them, along the way. Okay, so I just want to make sure everyone has a pretty good idea of what to do. You'll notice you're going to see this orange up here, student preview mode is on, which means I supposedly can see exactly what you see. All right. All right, going into chapter 9, I provide an overview of Professor Rogers' trial. It's a case study. And this assignment is set up, one, to kind of get you introduced to what it's going to be like working in a group on Blackboard, okay? And make sure you know how to enroll in a group, how to post things within your groups. That's really what this is for, coupled with learning about group dynamics, conflicts in groups, functional and dysfunctional roles in groups. Okay, so that's really the purpose of this first one. I provide right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the 4 things you're going to do. And if you notice, number 1, number 2 is individual, meaning do this at your own time, at your own pace, but you should get it in at the calendar deadline time. Okay, and that's because your group members all need to review. So when we say meet, I'm saying get online and go through you don't have to meet online necessarily, but you should get into your group and read what other people have posted. Okay, let's see. And then this part, number 4, this is what you guys will do together, making decisions on how do we approach this dysfunctional group. Do we meet with them individually? Do we actually meet with them as a group? What are some things, like when you look at the sources of conflict back in chapter 8, what are some of the things leading to conflict with them? Is there scarce resources? Is it perceived incompatible goals, right? Or interfering with goals? What is it that's causing them to have conflict? And then how would you approach? Because you got to think about each of their dysfunctional roles. How would you approach them? So that's something that you guys will decide on as a group through discussion. Okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to click on that folder. And here are the documents. So your dysfunctional roles, I think I've already opened that. I did already open it. Okay, so here we have roles. So these are the roles that are functional. Okay, all of these are considered functional maintenance roles, and then social roles like the follower, the feeling expressor, and then you come on down, dysfunctional roles. These are roles that inhibit a group from being successful. I've heard instructors use different kinds of terminology such as selfish behaviors, right? Because if we look at some of these, it's not being group oriented, it's being self-oriented. Okay, so there's some examples there. All right, so I'm going to come back up. And what you will do is first, with this group, by the way, you'll see this case study. It's pretty easy to see where these folks are dysfunctional. The challenge might be for you to identify through some tweaking of behavior that's more group-oriented, thinking about the group goals and being more cohesive, how might they be able to turn their behavior into a behavior that would benefit the group? Okay? All right, and let me pop that one back down. Okay, so in addition to the different types of roles, you have the actual trial here, which I should also have open. Is that it? Nope. Sorry, gang. All right, so Professor Rogers' trial is right here. So you're going to read this. Now, the one thing is, I think I have it in the instructions, you can't really rate Professor Rogers in this case. This case study I used was something else entirely, but Professor Rogers doesn't really function in the group. I will say I think Professor Rogers bears some responsibility because, you know, this is a 101 class, it's an introductory class, and I think Rogers should have seen some of this behavior as a red flag and could have interfered. However, Rogers did not. But Rogers is also not a member of the group. So I'm asking you to look at Sylvie, Donald, and Anthony. Okay, so there's your case study. Oops, cancel, sorry gang. Okay, all right, now here's the thing. This is where I see almost all of you, except for a few people, have gone in and joined a group. So click here to enroll in a group. All right, so here's my student view, okay? So I only have one group left open, and wonderful Tiffany is waiting anxiously for other members to join her group. So typically you would see a whole list of groups here, but all of the groups are filled except for this one. You will click sign up. Uh-oh, Tiffany, I may have just joined your group. I did. Okay, I'll get myself out of it, don't worry. Okay, so you'll go in here. Now, I'm in, right? So this is my group, and I can at any time come over here and click here, groups, and I've already signed up, so I'm going to click on this because I'm in. Okay, so that's how I get to my group. I can get to it through a couple different links. All right. Now, let's say I do my I read my case study and I follow the directions, and it's time for me to upload my analysis of the case study. Who is most responsible to who is least responsible? I've assigned their roles. I can come here to the group discussion board and I can post it in here. Okay? So, yeah, no items found yet. That's all right because I don't think it's due yet. All right, so Tiffany safe. All right. I'm going to come back here to assignments. Okay, so also within, I often have students say, well, how do we handle discussion? And it is a bit tough. I understand Blackboard's a little clunky for this. You could open a group discussion board. You could open a group blog. I actually think the blogs are easier to read. You could create your entry and go right in, right? I actually think it's easier sometimes to have a discussion on the blog, but you and your group members can choose that. Make sure you email each other. Use all of these functions, okay? You email each other. Sometimes I have students who exchange. They'd rather set up a group on Facebook. I am okay with that as long as, but you have to like invite me in because I have to be able to see your exchange. Okay, so if any groups take it upon themselves to do a Facebook page, again, I'm going to say that's fine. You just have to notify me that you're going to do that, okay? Okay, I've popped up the calendar just so we could take a look at where we should be right about now. So at the time of this recording, it is Wednesday the 26th. I asked students just to enroll in a group by the 23rd, and so congratulations, most of you did. I'm still waiting for a few students to enroll, so let's do that for Miss Tiffany, okay? Because she's hanging there waiting for some people to enroll with her. Okay, and as of, let's see, it looks like yesterday I wanted everyone to upload the individual analysis. In other words, you read the case study, you ranked the characters in the case study, and you have applied their dysfunctional roles and maybe even thought ahead to some of the functional roles. So I'm going to go in and check some links because I think I had a couple people have a problem uploading. So thank you for letting me know, and I will go in and see what the problem is. And finally, your group approach needs to be submitted by Sunday, October 30th. So it'll be pretty important to keep logging in and checking in to your group. Okay, most important thing. Sometimes I have. Usually the groups do pretty well. What I hate to see is when one person or just two people carry everything, and you know, there's an individual grade and there's a group grade, which I know students, that gives a lot of relief to students. Students who just log in to say, yeah, that looks good, that's not contributing to the group, okay? That's letting somebody else carry all the water. All right, so I want to make sure that everyone contributes towards the project, okay? Okay, and I am under no illusion that doing a group project in an online class is easy. I know it isn't. So I ask you to keep your communication open with each other, but also with me if you're running into some kind of time conflict. If I know ahead of time, I can help you out with that, and another deadline can be negotiated. Okay? All right. I just like the idea of you guys working together, and I want you to be successful. Okay? Good luck and have fun with this.